Alright, what's up boys? So this is going to be a setup of the day video on a trade that I took where I risked 2.5 points to make 15.25 points for a 6.1 risk to reward ratio. So this setup was literally just capitalizing on trapped buyers that were rated VWAP. So in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you guys, show you exactly what I saw, what the confirmation was, and why I took this trade. But before we hop right into it, most of you guys aren't subscribed to this channel. So if you trade order flow, you're interested in learning more about order flow, or you've been seeing my videos and just haven't subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping free sauce like every single day on my YouTube. I also drop free sauce every day on my TikTok, my Instagram, so go follow those. Links are in the description as well. All right, so just like all my other setup of the day videos, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go over the context for the day, the pre-market plan, and then we are going to get into the trade. So first, let me just walk you guys through my pre-market plan here. Let me move myself so you can see it. So here's my plan. If the previous day's close, 716 is supported, I would like to play long up to 31 to 41, which is the consolidation from yesterday. So this red box right here is the consolidation from yesterday when we sold off. This green box right here was the previous day's close. And if I hop into Sierra chart here, you can see at this previous day's close, we have a ton of buying delta right here. So this is pretty normal for the close to have a spike in delta, but this is the reason why I have this level marked out, because we are opening up above this area. We've already bounced off of it a few times overnight. So now if this level is supported, I'd be interested in taking it up to where we consolidated yesterday, which is right here. Then my other part of the plan was, since we already bounced off of it, if we just come up to these 31s first, and I can look for selling to appear here to take it short down into that 16 level, like I just said. The other scenario that I had was if we break below this 16, then I could look for a short opportunity to target the 6695s. And really, I kind of amended that plan. And my first target was the 701. Really the full number at 700, because that was yesterday's low. And below that, the reason why I like the 95s was if I hop into a higher time frame, it's kind of filled out a little bit better now, but this is where we had a little bit of a drop off in volume. So it was a nice target for me at the 95s. So anyway, now that we know the plan for today, it really just revolves around these two levels. I'm looking to be a seller first around the 31s to the 41s, because that is where we consolidated yesterday. So if this gets defended, could be a good short setup. And then the level of interest I had to be a buyer was the previous day's close, pretty much from 717, and then I gave it to 710. So that's my plan for today, right? Now we open up. So here's the session. We open up right here, obviously, and immediately we just start selling off. This is a 5-minute chart right here. So we're selling off, and I did not see any signs to get long off 16. We break through this level, then we end up consolidating for roughly an hour, I believe, from about 850 call it to 950. So yeah, just about an hour of consolidation right here. After this hour of consolidation, finally we come up to VWAP right here around the 16s, 17s, right? On this test of VWAP, I'm going to pull up the footprint chart. So on this test of VWAP, you guys can see all of this positive delta right here from roughly 718 up to almost 719. But this is where a ton of buying comes in, trying to push price higher, and ultimately they just completely fail, right? Going over to Bookmap real quick, this is what it looked like over here. So first off, we had a ton of orders from 716 to 710. These get taken by large aggressive sellers, you can see by the red bubbles. Then we started consolidating for like an hour. During this consolidation, every single time buyers tried to push price, once, twice, 3 times, they failed every single time at the same place, right at 17, which coincidentally, maybe not so much, is right where these orders started at for these bids. Right where these bids were at from around 716, this is where they started. This is where buyers keep failing to push price through. Now we have VWAP right here, roughly around the 717. And this is that attempt from aggressive buyers right here that failed. If you guys want to see my Bookmap settings, go look at the last video I posted, and you can see all of my updated settings because I did tweak them a little bit. But yeah, so basically, this is what it looks like on Bookmap. These buyers are just completely failing to push price up right here. And following this, they get put underwater. And you can just see right here, it is taking no effort from sellers to move the price down. So on this small amount of selling that we have in this period from 953 to 955 roughly, price moved down about 8 points. So that just shows you that sellers have more control over the market at this point. So you could have definitely seen this activity and recognized it on Bookmap, but to be completely honest, it just looks way more clear on the footprint chart. Like, it just looks way more clear on the footprint chart, and it really smacks you in the face a lot more on the footprint chart, in my opinion. So after this buying comes in right here, they immediately get put underwater, and that's when I was comfortable taking an entry short, which my fill price was at 15.25 right here, and I just put my stop loss about 2.5 points up, right where this absorption started at 1775. So I was in it at 15, and like I said earlier, my target was the 700 whole number, and the reason for that was because this was yesterday's low in the New York session. So something funny that happened during this trade that has never happened to me before, but I guess I had to learn the hard way. I don't really know. But so while I was in this trade, I was in it on Top Step, and I had my stop loss to break even. It was about 9 points in profit, right down here near the 708. So I was in profit a good amount, and it was fine for me to break even. So I was break even on this trade, and I had my TP order set already. You guys might know how on Top Step you can like drag from your entry price your target and your stop loss. So that's what I did, and I canceled my target, and I was gonna put limit orders first. I was gonna take a partial at the low of day right around the 706. So I canceled my TP order, and then I set limit orders at 706, and then I canceled those, and I went to redrag my TP order from the entry, how you do on Top Step, and I ended up dragging my stop loss without knowing because it was at break even, and I set it at 700, and then the trade obviously closed because I was dragging the stop order, which I didn't realize, and it took me out for roughly 8 points or 7 points in profit on the trade. So that was really unfortunate. After that, I just walked away with only a $700 profit on this trade, which should have ended up being at least a $1,500 profit. So I'm telling you guys that in all honesty, because the reality is I didn't get out at my 700 target, which is where I wanted to get out at. Yeah, I'll never make that mistake again. So if you guys are using Top Step, let me know if that's ever happened to you. Can't imagine that it's not happened to anybody else, but that was honestly like laughable. It was laughable, bro. I was pissed. But yeah, so that's honestly what happened to me personally on that trade, but the target worked out very well and even beyond that. So this gray line right here is the low of day from yesterday. Clearly, we just absolutely blew through that. Did a little bit of a consolidation, not really, around those 95s, and ultimately put in a low of day at the 78s. So that's pretty crazy. We had a pretty eventful day after about an hour of consolidation, but this was easily the clearest setup that I saw on today's session. I didn't see any reason to get short off the opening price right here at all. This consolidation, there were some sellers that got trapped down here, but this effort from buyers at VWAP, once again, I'll show you guys the footprint, but this effort from buyers right at VWAP right here was the most blatant setup of the session. And if you guys have been watching my videos, if you guys know anything about me, I always try to stress to you guys that the best trade setups are the ones that smack you in the face, and they're the ones that are very obvious. So try to just stick to those ones, the ones that are like really screaming at you to take them. This is one of those setups that didn't require any thought at all. Once you see this delta at VWAP, you're like, oh, buyers are trying at VWAP. If they get put underwater, they're going to be trapped. And that can obviously fuel a sell-off. That was the best setup of the day. Let me know how you guys did today. I'm sure a bunch of you guys took that same short. If you did, congratulations. That's awesome. But if you guys are new here, once again, make sure you subscribe. I post free sauce like every day on all of my social media, including YouTube. So link in the description for those. If you guys need Bookmap, if you guys need a Bookmap discount, link in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.